Hey everyone, we're TowawayCouple. I'm Tom, the driver.
And I'm back to being passenger.
You're back to the sandwich maker.
I'm back to being the sandwich maker.
So we took the winter off and we did our own little thing, and thank God we did. The snow. We drove through the snow coming back from Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Holy cow!
Also, what I can say is, thank God we had our own RV and not
pulling somebody else's.
We decided to, on a whim, to get out of the 10-hour traffic in Shreveport.
Yes.
We decided to take WAZE. Now, thank God it didn't take us underneath any crazy trees or low bridges, but we managed to make it through.
Well, let's explain. WAZE navigations, unless you have an RV navigation with your height and everything that it knows, bridges and stuff like that, you're taking a big gamble and a big risk because WAZE is looking at more passenger cars.
Yeah.
And a lot of truckers and a lot of cars use WAZE because it also shows them where the cops are. Right. But also, just so you know, the cops sit there and mark themselves in places and then move on and then mark themselves in another place. So they play tricks with everybody. So don't always believe the police.
No. But we managed to make it through. Like I said, thank God it was our own RV, but we did make it through. We saved 8 hours off of traffic.
Right. We went 40 miles out of our way through 2-lane roads, pushing snow. Bunny was following me in our Dodge Charger, and I had the Ram 3500. And I'll tell you what, I was never so scared in my life because all I could think is if I got anywhere, there's nowhere to turn a 40-foot fifth wheel around.
No. We actually
there was. I did turn it around.
There was. We wanted us to make a left down this. It looked like a little tiny old farm road, and we missed it.
We passed it because it was a blink of an eye.
Right. It actually looked like a farm road, not an actual highway. But Tom did manage to find a place to turn around.
Well, I was looking ahead of us thinking, man, we're going to go 20 miles before I can find an intersection that I can block. And we're pushing into 2-3 foot of snow. And I'm thinking, there's no way I could push through that much snow and possibly start spinning tires, even with the 4-wheel drive. I was hella scared.
Yeah. It was pretty sketchy out there this time.
Yeah. We actually found a driveway.
We did find a driveway.
It was a house, and next door to their house, they had their garages and everything. It wasn't like for business garages, and they had a fairly good-sized parking lot, but the driveway was very narrow going over a gully.
Right, and they had plowed their own driveway.
They plowed their own driveway. So when I saw it, and across the street were the mailboxes, so they had where the mail person went off the road to put the mail in the boxes. So that gave me an extra probably 5 or 6 or 8 feet of buffer. And I told Bunny, I said, I am going to block traffic. And I literally crossed into oncoming traffic, blocked the whole road as I backed into this driveway. And thank God for those mailboxes, because the way I would have come out with that little narrow driveway with the goalie, I would have fallen off onto one of the sides.
Yeah. So, and here's me trying to get through in my Charger, just pushing. The whole undercarriage of my Charger is all broken up from pushing snow. That's how deep it was when we got off the freeway.
So just so y'all know, people always ask, why am I always looking at Bunny? It's because I am deaf, and I actually look at her because I'm actually reading her lips and looking at her facial expressions. I have no idea why she keeps looking at me.
Because you're cute.
You got to look at the camera.
But so basically, let's just keep this one on like WAZE in your navigation systems.
Right. So don't trust WAZE. It's good to use for traffic to see what the miles per hour is. It's pretty accurate as far as that goes.
We use our WAZE when we're on the freeway.
Yes, and all of a sudden we start seeing brake lights. We're like, okay, we want to see if there's a traffic accident ahead, and usually it'll tell you what's going on.
Right. There are all the other trucker apps out there that, yes, we do use those ones too, but I just find that WAZE is a lot more consistent.
Yes.
Because there's a lot more people out there using it that have passengers that are letting people know where the traffic is ahead.
And Bunny's been using it so much, she has her own icon.
I do. So basically what we're saying, though, too, is yeah, definitely use your Waze to know where your accidents are, to know what types of times you're using, but don't trust them because they are going to take you in some funky places.
Right. So one time give you an example, in our fifth wheel, we have a 40-foot triple axle toy hauler with a 12-foot garage. So this thing is a monster. And if you look at our Facebook for TowawayCouple, you'll see the picture in the background. And I have the truck looks like a
Tonka truck,
like a mini truck pulling this thing. So anyway, I had a flat tire on the freeway in Mobile. We're learning Alabama slang. So I get a flat tire and I said, find me the nearest tire store because I am not going to, if I already have one flat, I am not going to drive to Sturgis. I think we're on our way to Sturgis or something.
We were.
And I'm not going to drive all the way to Sturgis with no spare. So she goes, oh, here's a tire shop. So she starts navigating me. I was screwed. All of a sudden, we're going down a street and tree limbs are hitting the top roof of my RV. It broke my satellite dish dome. It broke my antennas because I have Wi-Fi antennas on the roof. It did a lot of damage.
Right. Oh, skylight.
The skylight in the bathroom. So it broke a bunch of stuff. Thank God it didn't break our solar panel.
Right.
That would have been an expensive fix.
So, and thank God we weren't towing a customer vehicle.
Oh, if we were towing a customer vehicle, I would just have to quit.
Oh, it was
that would be the whole damage deposit.
It would definitely be more than $1,500. It would have been more.
Is the $1,500 damage deposit? We got to find this out. Is that just a deductible for the insurance, and or is that just the minimum that you have to put up, but you have a maximum you could still pay out of pocket?
I don't know. The contract is so long. I didn't.
We're going to have to read that, and we will talk about the damage deposit in another video. But what we're saying, though, is it might be best to use WAZE, but go get one of those, I believe it's Garmin or one of the other navigation systems, so you could put the height of the RV in there, because there are some, like Bunny's sister lives in Oklahoma, and they have a bridge, and I kid you not, the max height is 9'7".
Yeah.
And it's a long 2-lane road to get to that bridge and it's on, you'd almost have to back out the whole entire road.
Yeah, so you don't want to find that out by surprise.
Correct.
The only reason why we kept going, we seen that a bridge coming up when we were trying to cut through Shreveport. The only reason why we kept going is there was a motorhome about 3 or 4 cars ahead of us, so we knew he cleared it, so we're going to keep going.
So we see we're in Shreveport. We got WAZE. We're sitting there. It says 15 minutes, and that is utterly bull crap.
We were stopped.
And I see this motorhome get off, and he goes over the bridge, and meanwhile we're looking at the on-ramp of the other side, and it's just a solid sheet of ice, and you can tell no cars have gone down it. So I'm like looking at Bunny going, should we go for it? And she goes, I don't know. We better be just sitting here on the freeway. And I'm like, we could be sitting here all night. I mean, just the day before, cops walked 10 miles knocking on people's cars, waking them up.
Right.
I didn't want to be, I mean, we had the fifth wheel, thank God, but I didn't want to be stuck.
Right. And then luckily we found out it was like an 8 or a 9 hour delay.
Right. So I'm looking at this bridge and I'm thinking, okay, that's another freeway. So, and I'm looking at cars going along it and I'm like, oh, it can't be that bad. So we go and all of a sudden we start following WAZE. Both on-ramps were off-ramps from the freeway, one going one direction, one going the other direction. And then I see surface streets coming up and then I see cars stuck in the side of the ditches. And I'm like, oh, we messed up. We can't even go back at this point.
And then there was another point where we had to go over another bridge. And even though we were still following in people's tire tracks, it was still icy and slushy. And we were just, Tom wasn't sliding as much as I was in the Charger. That Charger is not real heavy and it was sliding everywhere.
You were pushing snow.
And I was pushing snow, literally pushing snow.
Right. When I did back into those people's driveway, I did put it in 4-wheel drive. So that way, if I did slide, at least I had all 4 wheels locked.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, no, definitely use WAZE, but don't trust it fully because again, it damaged our RV one time. We just happened to get really lucky. We got 40 miles of clear sailing. And when we got on the freeway, there was nothing coming up the freeway. So that meant that freeway was still stopped 20 plus miles back.
I think it was more like, oh yeah.
Because we went 40 miles out of the way, but
Yeah.
it kept taking us right, left, right, left. But we needed to go left.
Yeah, it was taking us forever, but we made it. And then the scary part was when we got back on the freeway, I was like, holy crap, we are literally the only ones on the freeway. It scared the crap on me because I was like, are we going to come onto a spot where it's completely iced and we're stuck again?
Right.
No one else around us. But about 5 miles up, people started coming back on the freeway.
And what's bad? In the next video, we'll talk about how we had to pull over, do emergency repairs.
Oh, yes. Oh, and you know what? I get laughing too, because you got to forgive me. I'm not originally from the South. I call it a freeway because I'm from the West Coast where they are free. Out here in the South and in the East Coast, that would be your interstates.
Right, our expressways.
And expressways. Our daughter-in-law corrects me all the time. It's not a freeway.
Right. It's not a highway. All right. So until next video, we'll talk about how we almost were screwed for the night. So anyway, have a good night. And if you have any questions, definitely look us up and send us a message, and we help people all the time through Facebook Messenger, people asking very more specific questions about tow away and drive away and transporting. So if we can at all help you, we're more than happy to do so.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a good night.
See you down the road.
Bye-bye.